Hello my dear students, in this video class we are going to discuss chapter 4 of the politics, working of institutions. My dear students, before this we discussed that in the democracy powers are separated among the different organs of the government. We have also discussed that the leaders which are chosen by the people, they have to work according to some limitations and according to some rules and regulations. We have also discussed that how to take any decision, leader has to take the consent from the both houses of the parliament, i.e. that is the Lok Sabha and the Rajya Sabha. So in this chapter our main focus will be there how all the three institutions of the government, that are the legislature, executive and judiciary work. Executive and judiciary. My dear students, in the previous classes, you all have discussed something regarding these three, legislature, executive and judiciary. In this class or in this chapter, we shall elaborate it. But before going to that, some glimpses are given or some examples are given by which we can come to know how any decision is being made. So, the topics which we are going to discuss today, that are how is a major policy decision taken. In that there will be a subtopic, a government order. Later on we shall discuss the decision makers. So, my dear students, on 13 August 1990, a government decision was signed by the Joint Secretary of the Personal and Pension Grievances of India. This order was also having a serial number like the other official records, and it was called as the Office Memorandum. This memorandum or this office memorandum was of a single page only, but this office memorandum got a lot of critics as well as popularity in the coming years. So what was that office memorandum? That office memorandum was related to a process of reservation. Government of India formed a commission under the leadership of B.P. Mandal, and it was said to the B.P. Mandal that he search another group in the society who can get reservation, that should be socially and educationally backward. So as a result of the Mandal Commission, the report which was received by the government, on the behalf of that report, this office memorandum was prepared. But can we think that the office memorandum which came into effect, that was passed because the Joint Secretary of the Personal and Pension Grievances signed it? No. We can't say that this office memorandum was made possible only by the signature of the Joint Secretary. For being as a law, it has to go through a various processes. About these various processes we discussed in the previous class. I am just revising it to you. As we are knowing, President is the head of the government in the union level, but all the powers are vested in the hand of Prime Minister and his cabinet of ministers. The parliament of our country is divided into the two main houses, that is the Lok Sabha and the Rajya Sabha. Prime Minister should have majority of representatives in the Lok Sabha. So how this office memorandum came into effect, or how any decision is being taken? So my dear students, if Prime Minister has to take any decision, then first it has to be passed with the majority from the both houses of the Parliament, Lok Sabha and the Rajya Sabha. After that it is sent to the President. Then President made its consent, and as a result of that ordinary bill changes into the law. So we are going to discuss in this the decision makers. Means who were they who have taken that decision on the behalf of the government. Actually, this office memorandum, which came into existence on 13th October, that was not a quick memorandum. That was the result of a lot of processes which took place earlier. In the year of 1979, a commission under the leadership of B.P. Mandal was set up by the central government. Central government said to the commission that it give its report about the socially and economically backward classes. So in the year of 1980, B.P. Mandal Commission gave its report to the central government. In that report, there were various new things which can be implemented. And the most important thing which was written in that Mandal Commission, that was to give reservation to a new class of people in India which were regarded as the SEBC. So SEBC. What were these SEBC? SEBC stand for socially and educationally backward classes. So in that report, Mandal Commission has said that socially and educationally backward classes of the people should give 27% of the job reservations in the union or the central government job vacancies. So this report was given by the Mandal Commission in 1981. But for the next few years, any party didn't implement the decision or didn't implement the recommendations of the Mandal Commission. After that, Lok Sabha elections of 1989 took place. In that Lok Sabha election, the leader of the Janata Dal, VP Singh, said in his manifesto that if his government will be formed with the absolute majority, he will follow the procedure or he will implement the recommendations of the Mandal Commission. As a result of this manifesto, or as a result of this statement during the elections, Janata Dal won the majority of the seats in the Lok Sabha, and as a result of that, VP Singh became the new Prime Minister of the India. As VP Singh became the new Prime Minister of the India, he implemented that decision. So how that decision was implemented? First of all, VP Singh consulted about that decision with the current President of India. Then President of India summoned the both houses of the Parliament and tell them about the law or about the bill. Then on 6 August 1990, a union cabinet, means cabinet of the central government, jointly took the decision, and that bill was passed with the majority. Next day, that bill was sent to the individual department for the recommendation. Then on the behalf of the central government, the joint secretary of the personal and pension grievances signed that order, and this order became the law. So this was the process how any rule is being made or how any law is being made. So as according to that commission, 27% job reservations were provided in the SEBC. So for the next few years, this was a hot topic within the country. Many protests, silent as well as the violent, took place in the favor as well as in the opposition of that decision. Many people gave their view that yes, government should give some reservation to the economically and socially backward people. So this decision of the government is okay. But others said that by giving this extra reservation to a new class SEBC, maximum job opportunities of the people will be vanished. So their life will be in a peril condition or will be in a problem. So this was the dispute after the law which was passed by the current Prime Minister VP Singh. So when dispute occurred regarding this law, there was who settled that dispute. As we are knowing, in our country India, to settle any dispute, the main judicial houses are the Supreme Court and the High Court of the states. Supreme Court is for the whole country and High Court is situated in a different states. So maximum people filed a petition against this decision in the Supreme Court. So Supreme Court collected all these cases and named it as a Indira Sahni and others versus the Union government. Then a committee of judges or a committee of Supreme Court judges heard this case. Later on in the year of 1992, the committee of the judges of the Supreme Court gave its decision that the bill or the law which was the bill or law which was passed by the current central government, that is absolute or that is right. Further on, this committee said to the central government that it made some recommendation or some changes in the law. Supreme Court Judges Committee said that those who are well-to-do or those who are economically, socially and educationally prosperous in this SEBC, they should not get this reservation. And as a result of that, central government recommend that or make some changes, and from then till now this decision is going within the country. So this is how any decision is being taken by the central government, and in case if any type of dispute or any type of problem occurred, by implementing that decision, the Supreme Court or we can say the judiciary, the organ of the government, settles such disputes. So this was all about this video class. Other things we shall discuss in the next video class. Till that time, bye my dear students.